Hey there, and happy Tuesday. And I'm here with card number 9 out of 10 for the month of the package of 10 cards, or the set of 10 cards that I'm inspiring you guys with this month. And I kind of wanted to have 2 out of the 10, I'm on number 9, 2 of the 10 cards this month be Christmas related. Hi there, Lois. And so I'm switching gears and I'm doing Christmas today. And so I know for some you'll be like, oh, already? And some it's like, oh, good. I need to get on that now so that I can get some ideas. So today is really kind of a very simple concept, and I'm going to step it up a notch, and you won't be able to see it too much maybe on camera until I do the technique, but I'm going to do all my stamping and then run it through an embossing folder, which I've done before, but I haven't done it for a while. So I thought, you know what, my stamping friend Pam and I were talking and kind of have seen some ideas using the painted Christmas suite and running it through an embossing folder. So it's like, yeah, it's time to kind of bring out another technique, because sometimes even though you know the technique, we just need to be reminded of it. And so today's a good day to show you that. So let me put down my iPad and my card, and then I'll switch around my camera so that I can see you guys and also show you better the card and how to put it together. And Pam, hey, I was just talking about my other friend Pam, and then a different Pam comes on. Well, good. Pam must be a stamping friend too, because otherwise you won't be watching, right? Okay, so here is the card today, and that's where you can hopefully see, because of some of the ink that I've added on here, the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder that I've used here to kind of make the card look extra special, and just a little bit of cozy texture to make it look a little special. I think when I make my Christmas cards, I try and do something a little bit more than I would for other cards that I make. So where I'm getting this from is from the mini catalog, and from the outside you can see lots of great ideas using the painted Christmas suite, and here it all is in action. And I've got this that I'm using today, the Christmas season. I'm using stamps from here, a die from here, and then I'm using stamps from the Christmas to Remember. And so what I think is kind of fun is I'm going to let you guys choose if you want to see me make more of the cards that I send out using the cherry cobbler and gold ribbon today. Otherwise, I have a really pretty textured evening evergreen, and it kind of has, well, you can see here, this has kind of that same texture as the embossing folder. So this is my sample that I made before I came on, and then when I make the card today for you guys, I'm going to swap out the ribbon. And then in your comments, if you want to help me choose what you think would be better, or what you prefer, I think that's always kind of fun. Hi Priscilla, hi Lisa. So something that I thought was interesting, Stampin' Up, when they've put together excuse me, suites in the catalog, they've put together 2 stamp sets, you know, or 2 bundles, I should say, with stamp sets and dies before. But I think today is the first time I really realized, when I was putting all the stamps out and I was putting them back, that this is the first time that I can think of that one is photopolymer, which is the see-through, and then this is the cling that sticks to the red rubber mount that sticks to our blocks. And so I thought that was kind of interesting that there's one of each in the same suite, like so. Hi there, Joyce. And it makes no difference to me. I like them both, and there's rhyme, reason, and purpose with it too. So let me get to stamping. I'm not using a whole bunch of colors today for cardstock. When you see all the color on here, you go, oh, she's going to use this, this, and this, but really this is all that I'm using today is cherry cobbler and very vanilla. And so it's kind of fun to see how just some plain very vanilla and cherry cobbler can come together to make that. And the blending brush today, I think, is going to be key to what gives the effect of the warmth, besides the embossing folder too. Oh, hi Kay, hi Linda, lots of you guys jumping on today. I think before I get too far, I'm going to start with my sentiment. Often that's the last thing I do. So let me open up my cherry cobbler. and I'm just going to stamp out Magic is in the Air, and that's from the Christmas season stamp set. So I'm just going to stamp that and then just set that aside to dry, or just set it aside. There we go. And then I'm going to, because my other stamps here are going to be photopolymer, I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, because that gives us a really good impression there. Thanks, Kay. I haven't even made the card, but thanks for enjoying it, the sample already. And so let me start with my Pear Pizzazz ink pad. Hi there, Faith. Good to see you. So with my Pear Pizzazz, I'm going to match that up with this kind of like little bit of greenery frond here. And I'm going to take my Very Vanilla. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So kind of my standard card front. And I'm just going to kind of ink that up, and then without re-inking, stamp it a second time. And then I'm going to do that up here on the top. Ink it up and then stamp it a second time. And then I'm going to put down that stamp, kind of set aside that ink pad. Next, I'll open my Evening Evergreen. And I got my color inspiration right from the Painted Christmas Suite in the catalog. And now this is kind of just some more greenery here. So I'm going to ink this one up here, and without re-inking, kind of stamp it off to the side there. And same thing down here, ink it up without re-inking, just kind of, oops, add that. Oh boy, we'll see. I think that looks okay. Otherwise I can start all over. Maybe I might just do that on the flip side here, because it's going to be really easy. And then if you go, how did she do that? Then you'll get a second. I think I stamped it. Yeah, I did. I stamped it off my mat. So I probably should put my Stampin' Pierce mat like that, and then I'll have plenty of room. I was kind of trying to, you know, fit a circle in a square type thing. Oh my goodness, guys, now I got the wrong color. Okay, we're just gonna go like so. I'm gonna go like this. You know, you can't make these things up on live. So we're just gonna pretend I'm starting over. All over. Okay, so here I'm going to bring my Pear Pizzazz instead of reaching and just kind of trying to hustle through. Okay, just slow down. Stamp, don't ink, re-stamp. And then stamp, don't re-ink, stamp. There we go. Set that ink aside, set that stamp aside. Get out my Evening Evergreen here and stamp, don't re-ink, stamp again. There we go. And stamp, don't re-ink, and stamp again, like so. Okay, now I'm feeling pretty good about this. You guys can laugh with me back there. Okay, and then next I'm going to take my Cherry Cobbler pad back out again. These little holly berries are nice, big, and bold. I wasn't so sure at first if they seemed kind of big, but I love what it adds to the card with the big, bold dimension there. And so I'm just going to kind of add these full strength everywhere that I put them, because I think that adds so much to it. And then my last ink pad and my last stamp for the front here, I'll use Crumb Cake ink. And then these little dots, and you guys, if you know me at all, you know how I love when a stamp set has the little dots in there. And so this I'm just going to tap on my Crumb Cake ink pad and just kind of start in the middle and work out by stamping repeatedly to get just light and dark little dots, like so, all around my card, like so. And it might seem kind of too heavy there, but I'm going to end up putting that kind of belly band of cardstock ribbon and my sentiment there, so it's going to be okay. Hi Diane, hi Amy, thanks for joining in. And so this I'll just set aside here too. And now I'm ready to get out my cut and emboss machine. And with that, I'm going to cut my Magic is in the Air first, and where that die is coming from is the Seasonal Labels dies. from this Painted Christmas Suite. So you've seen me use the pine cone dies here. You've seen me use some of these bigger labels and frames, and I love this. And what I love about it too is you can use it all year round just for the different frames and things too. So I'm going to just kind of center. My magic is in the air. I feel like when I stamped it, it's a little crooked, so I'm going to kind of put my die at an angle, hoping that that will be the same angle that I stamped it a little off. Okay, so I've got this, and there we have magic is in the air. I'll set that aside. And then the next thing that I'm going to run through is this 4x5¼ piece here, and I'm going to emboss it with a 3D embossing folder. So I'm using plate number 1, which is just that thick plate, and the other plate that I need is plate number 4 when it comes to the 3D embossing folders. And that 3D embossing folder is the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. And I feel like it gives it kind of a nice, I kind of joked with my stamping from Pam when we were talking about this, kind of gives it the texture look of toilet paper or something like that, nice and soft. And so this I will just put in my embossing folder like so. Hi there, Ruth, thank you. And then that I can just feed right through here. And it goes through so smooth that I sometimes go, did it do anything? And then I pull it out and go, oh yes it did. So look at that, what a fun look. So here's my, if you're just joining in, I kind of flubbed and I decided to just start all over. So what a difference in just putting that texture on the card front after it's been all stamped up. It just adds a lot to it, and it just already makes it look like it's a whole different color. But I'm going to do even more with that here as well. So let me grab my scratch paper here again, and haven't used my blending brushes for a while, so I need to get that out. And I'm just going to take my crumb cake, just give it a little swirl here. Actually, I'll start with my sentiment, and I'm just going to kind of catch the edges, kind of just naturally catches the edges as I put my crumb cake on there. And this is gonna make it look kind of vintage and distressed. It kind of takes on a whole different color, and it doesn't look like very vanilla or crumb cake. It kind of almost yellows it in a nice way that kind of just ties the card in to the vintage look. And then as I put more on, I kind of start, like I said, on the edges. I do a counterclockwise motion on my ink pad with my blending brush, and then I just kind of go over the edges and then swipe up to the center kind of. I want it to be heavier on the edges and then lighter in the inside like so. And I don't want to put on too much because I don't want it to look like it's stained from disgusting fingers or something. More like just vintage with age and such too. So just it adds that little bit there too. And as the ink picks up that textile embossing folder, it's just gonna pick up that design on there too, which is really neat as well. Now for my belly band, what I've put together here is just a strip of cherry cobbler, because that's what my card base is going to be. My card base is 4¼ by 5½ opening this way, and then my belly band is 4 inches, because that's how what size this is across, by 3/4 inches. And on this card I'd put the kind of a chevron, so it's the Evening Evergreen chevron weave ribbon, and it's so pretty. And like I said, the fun thing about this ribbon is that it has kind of almost that same look of texture as what I just ran through, so that's what that's going to look like. But what I'm going to do is use, thanks Joyce, that was a whole look I was going for, Joyce, was the vintage look. And Priscilla, yes, I love how it comes together pretty quick. So this is cherry cobbler in gold metallic ribbon. So this is from the holiday catalog, or excuse me, the mini catalog. I always want to call it holiday catalog because, you know, it has a lot of holiday things for this time of year. So I'm just going to kind of measure out so it goes past my 4-inch strip here of cherry cobbler. And then I'm going to take and, oops, I think I need to scoot this up a little bit. Yeah, this is one of those cards, you guys. Not that I'm not excited to make the cards that I send out to you guys, but when I finished today's card, I was like, I can't wait to make all of these for everybody else to send out. I'm really excited about the card. Like, it's really fun to make, and it's going to be really fun to make more. Thank you, Amy. Good to see you on here. Okay, so this, because it's wide enough, I can put my adhesive right across the whole back side of the ribbon, if you saw that. And then I can just easily get that to stay centered out across that strip of cherry cobbler cardstock, and then just fold it behind there like so. And I considered popping it up, but I feel like I really don't need to pop it up for the fact that it has so much dimension already with the 3D embossing folder and the blending brushes and everything, that it kind of just gives itself its own little pop there. And then this magic is in the air. I want it to stick good and not feel like it's wobbling on top of the ribbon, which sometimes if you put some dimensionals on there, it'll kind of do a little bit of a wobble job. Not terrible. So to get that to stick really well, I'm going to pull out my Stampin' Seal Plus, and that just has a little extra sticking power. It just has more sticky adhesive on there than the other. And now this I'm going to put right on my ribbon like so. So that's going to fit right on top. So you can see how the colors really coordinate well, but this one did too. So that's why it's going to be like hard to choose. And I'm looking for comments like, hey, which one do you like better? So while you guys kind of decide on that, I'm going to finish the inside and add my embellishment too. So for the inside, I'm just going to take another square or inside layering piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I just want to kind of tap lightly on my Pear Pizzazz with that same kind of ink combination that I did. I'm not even going to re-ink this one, just kind of add a little bit of greenery there using that same ink, and then kind of adding my splash of color here with my cherry cobbler. So that's just going to be the inside little splash in the on the bottom. And then from the stamp set, Christmas to Remember, I have them both out, so I have to remember the names. Christmas to Remember, it says, may this Christmas may this be a Christmas to remember and cherish. And that I'm just going to ink up with some cherry cobbler ink as well. And I think what makes this also look vintage is I love cherry cobbler and Very Vanilla together for Christmas. Real Red, I just used that the other day, loved that. And I tend to use like Real Red and white together, and then cherry cobbler and Very Vanilla together. But just watch, the next time I use one or the other, it'll be the opposite, and you'll go, but Belle, that's not how you do it. That's not always how we do it, and that's what's fun about stamping. You can mix it up all the time. And then I can just put on my adhesive here to attach this to the inside of the card. And I like how just this little sprig of greenery really makes it look festive. Oh, good. Thank you, Lois. Lois is my first one to chime in. Lois is always so good about offering feedback, and I appreciate that about you, Lois. So Lois likes the green ribbon, prefers, and I'm sure if Lois got a card that had the red ribbon on, she'd be just thrilled, because that's how Lois is too. And then for my embellishment for the card, what I'm pulling out today is my holiday rhinestone basic jewels, and you can tell I have loved these because there was kind of a goldish yellow color here and a night of navy and kind of like a pool party blue, and I've used all those up. And what I think is kind of funny is for these being my holiday rhinestones, the only colors I have left on my 3 packages are red and green. You would think if they were my holiday jewels and if I bought them for holiday projects, red and green would be the first thing that would be gone or missing. So I'm going to pull kind of a larger one here, and then a couple of my smaller ones here, and oops, don't think it attached in here. So I have about 3 of them. And these, they just have a little bit like what I feel like what the rhinestone is set on is kind of a little bit of a gold holder, but maybe it's just the way it looks when it's set on the cardstock too. So just adding that little shimmer and shine there, it makes for a fun card. So hardly any use of dyes, just the dye for that, and just kind of toning down. If you're the type that needs to make like 100 or 200 or quite a few Christmas cards, this might be something that you go, you know what, I can make Christmas cards if they're that quick, simple, and easy, and yet still look special. So once again, here is the variation with the evening evergreen, and then the cherry cobbler in gold ribbon. So yeah, I like them both. I feel like maybe the green just kind of makes the sentiment pop more, and it makes maybe the greenery on the card pop a little bit more too. So maybe I'm agreeing with Lois there too. Okay, and Priscilla's going back and forth, but voting green too. So yeah, and the texture does add a lot. So thanks so much for chiming in. And I appreciate that. Then I know that you're actually watching. Okay, so that is project number 9, card number 9 already out of 10 for the month of October. And how you can get my cards. Oh, first I have to read Linda's comment. First she thought she liked the red ribbon, but now seeing them side by side like that, the green one too. So I think when I make these, I'm gonna send out the green ones because I feel like that's what I liked best. But like I said, it's always fun to get other people's opinions too. So this is card number 9 out of 10. How you can get all 10 is by ordering a minimum order of $75 using this host code, or I can help you with your ordering too. Or just say, hey Belle, I want the set of 10 cards that you're doing, or projects, because yesterday it was a project, it wasn't a card, it was the little gift holder, and just let me know that, and then it's $25, and I send that out too. That includes a postage. Unless you're local, then I deliver. And tomorrow's card I'm already excited about too. It's going to be a sneak peek of a sneak peek. So some of you maybe have seen glimpses of a new product suite coming out called Eden's Garden, and I just received my whole suite of products as a demonstrator. I can pre-order that a whole month early to have to make fun projects to show you guys, and then you guys can start ordering that November 2nd. And I already have some people here on a list. When November 2nd flips on my calendar, I know exactly who I should be ordering that suite of products for. And so that will have a stamp set, dies, pretty papers, pretty gems, different a couple different sets of pretty papers and such too. So I'm not exactly sure what my card's going to look like, but I want to show you as many of the new products that I can so that you can see it firsthand to make a good decision if you think, oh, that's something I think I would like or not, on November 2nd. So that's what I'm going to be working with tomorrow. And the reason I call it a sneak peek of a sneak peek is the Eden's Garden products will be coming out in the January through July catalog, but Stampin' Up! Always is good about letting us have one of the bundles or suites ahead of time. And so this will be a featured bundle, but the paper and the gems will not be in that publication. So if you like tomorrow's paper and gems, and I'll go over it more, what's available or what will be and what won't be later, that'll give you some idea of what you need or what you can and can't get to. So very good. So thanks, Linda. And so that's all I've got for you today, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to be it for the month of October. And then I feel like I'm pretty caught up with getting cards ready to mail out for you guys after tomorrow's 10th sample. So I feel like after that, next on my agenda is to just jump right into November cards on November 1st. So hopefully that will stay true. So look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.